people losing their lives, sir. What do you have to say, sir? A moment of happiness turning into tragedy. Siddaramaiah, sir, what would you like to say to the family?
ಕುಂಭಮೇಳದಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ನಾನು. ಕುಂಭಮೇಳದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಒಂದು 50-60 ಜನ ಸತ್ತಿದ್ರು.
Ladies and gentlemen, it isn't a very good evening for a lot of people today that are mourning, and for a country today that is wanting to ask whether we have become a country of stampedes. I'm Deepti Sachdeva, you're watching the News Night. Now, what kind of country, just think about this, what kind of country watches its own people die? And instead, what it's doing, it keeps clapping. On your screen are two contrasting images. The timestamp is the same. Outside the Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bengaluru, there was panic, screams, people crushed to death. And you know what was happening inside? That is the image that you see on the corresponding side. There were speeches, there were smiles, there were celebrations that just did not stop. That is our priorities. That is the country for you. That is our netas for you. A celebration that turns into a death trap. And do you know what the Chief Minister had to say? What was his excuse? Listen in.
There are small gates. The people entered through the gates.
They have broken the gates.
They have broken the gates also. So stampede has taken place. Nobody has expected so much a crowd will come, because the capacity of the stadium is only 35,000. But 2 to 3 lakh people have come to participate in the celebration. I ordered magisterial inquiry and I given 15 days time. I do not want to play politics here in this case. BJP people are playing. ಈ ಥರದವು ಅನೇಕ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಪೀಡ್ಗಳು ನಡೆದಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ನಾನು ನಡೆದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, ಇಂಥವು ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಕಡೆ ನಡೆದಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಆದರೆ ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಈಗ ಡಿಫೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದಿದ್ದಾವೆ, ಹಿಂದೆ ನಡೆದಿತ್ತು, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕುಂಭಮೇಳದಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೀನ. ಕುಂಭಮೇಳದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಒಂದು 50-60 ಜನ ಸತ್ತಿದ್ರು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಪೀಡ್.
So you heard some amount of what Siddaramaiah, the Chief Minister, remember, had to say. He puts out a lot of excuses, but that is not my problem. What is the bigger problem, and what you must be aware and very, very clear about, is that this gentleman, the Chief Minister, who NDTV also during the day wanted to speak to, he ducks a mic, he walks away, he shrugs off. But later, because of the immense pressure, obviously he had to speak. But when he speaks, towards the last bit, he says people died even at the Kumbh. People died even at the Kumbh. As if the idea is to normalize it. Everything is fine. As if tragedy, ladies and gentlemen, is routine. As if life has no weight, because that life is yours and mine. And obviously not netas, not the powerful, not the rich, not the mighty. So have we become a nation where hope ends in a stampede and leaders just walk away from the wreckage which shrugs because they do not care? They know that, ultimately they'll be voted back to power. This isn't just failure. This is plain, simple indifference. And the message, ladies and gentlemen, is chilling. That in today's India, the common man, like they say, the Aam Aadmi, does not just suffer, but they die waiting. They can die waiting. On your screens right now are images of the exact moment when this stampede began. I want you to take the next few seconds, about a 40-second, where you will just watch, hear, and see what happened in Bengaluru, the IT city. So people don't know what to do. They have absolutely no idea what has struck them. This is a huge melee of people. The Chief Minister has an excuse saying that, listen, the stadium had only this capacity. We had so many people there. But why were so many people there? Who's responsible? Why did you let so many people gather there? What was your police doing? What was your administration doing? And how can the Chief Minister make a bizarre excuse of the people dying even in the Kumbh? I want to quickly get in our colleague Deepak, who's been fronting that story along with Veera Raghav through the day here, as NDTV has kept you ahead on that big coverage, Deepak. At times like this, we don't even know what to say. But you have seen the story through the day. The Chief Minister at the end of this day, that many say is a dark chapter in his own political history, in his own tenure as the Chief Minister, today is saying that, listen, people die even at the Kumbh, Deepak.
Well, a day that was supposed to be all about celebrations, about celebrating the wait and the victory after 18 years has turned into absolute tragedy. Right now for the families, most of them that I've been speaking to, they only want one thing. The injured want to go back home right now. They've had a very bad day. Hopefully, many of them who don't have serious injuries will get to do that. But the family, the kin of those who lost their lives, they're completely distraught. They're saying, we can't wait anymore. Hand over the mortal remains. We will conduct the final rites. A father, in fact, was so emotional when he spoke about his 22-year-old kid who lost his life while he was there to celebrate. As we speak, of course, a lot of ambulances come in here. Many of them who are injured are being treated. The good news, the only good news in the last couple of hours has been that those who have sustained injuries and hospitalized, they are out of danger.
And there are about 33 of them who've sustained injuries. I will just let Deepak go very briefly for the moment, as he'll continue to get all updates on that story. And I also want to take this moment to introduce a panel of guests, because it's important to ask questions. We cannot not ask questions. You cannot let this be the new normal. Dr. Sudha Halka is the spokesperson of the BJP joining us. We also have Nikhil Jain, who does lean towards the Congress, and he's a political analyst. And also Professor Anil Gupta from the ICRS, the National Disaster Management expert and the former HOD of the Policy Planning at the NIDM. That, remember, is related to the Ministry of Home Affairs, sir. Thank you also for your time. Before I begin to ask those questions, let's put out those questions. Because through the day here on NDTV, remember, we've received tremendous viewer feedback. So what we decided to do is to get that together and put out these questions. Very, very basic questions, but I want our netas to answer them. Why did the government rush into the event? Why did they do this? Second straight question that's going to go up on your screens as we will continue to ask this. Did the government not expect that there will be lakhs of people turning up? If they were not aware, it's bad. And if they were aware, they didn't do anything, extremely bad still. Shouldn't the government have waited and planned better? Again, the hurry. Remember the hurry? And the BJP says this hurry is also to claim credit. And that's going to be a part of the next question also that you will see in a moment. What about the cops? What about the police here? Did they have enough time to prepare? Where were they? Why did we not see them out there? No proper bandobast. And was there a rush, as the BJP claims, to just get some political mileage? Because we did see netas with the stars inside, and I will want our team to put out those images also straight up, Nikhil, as I want you to take that first question. There are people dying outside. There is a stampede. And inside, these celebrations continue unabated. As if, Nikhil, nothing has happened in the world. Life goes on.
Deepti, you raised a couple of important questions, but before I answer any of them, my heart goes out to the families. May the departed rest in peace, and blessings to their families, condolences to their families. That being said, I feel the incident that has happened is rather unfortunate. Accountability needs to be fixed. Whoever is responsible for it, whether it is SDM
Nikhil,
or a police officer.
Nikhil, who is it? Who is it?
Deepti, you'd have to let me speak. You'd have to let me speak.
We have heard netas speak. No, Nikhil. Wait.
No.
No, our team also has prepared a graphic element. Nikhil, wait. Our team has also prepared a graphic element of who possibly could be responsible. I just want you to read that list as it will go up on our screens, and maybe you can tell us then who's responsible, because you say whoever is responsible, Nikhil. So please tell me who's responsible.
I'm coming to it. Deepti, I don't like to duck from questions. You know that. I was about to say that whoever is responsible, whether it's an SDM, a DCP, or even the Chief Minister himself, they should be taken to task. And that is why the government has announced that a magisterial inquiry is set up into this. Within 15 days, the report would be turned out. See, I'm not going to sit here on television and blame culpability on people without knowing what has happened in the ground exactly. This is a matter of investigation and inquiry. Once that is complete, and whoever is responsible, again, I repeat, whoever is responsible, whether it's DK Shivkumar, Siddaramaiah, some SDM, some DCP, somebody in the Karnataka State Cricket Association, whoever it is, they should be taken to task. But let the authorities inquire. That being said, I think what we expect out of a government in a scenario like this is, one, what did they do before the event? Did they plan properly? Did they, assume that the crowds would be so large? What mitigative measures that they had in place?
Nikhil,
That we can
did they
clearly
do this?
see. That we
Has
can-
Rahul Gandhi
that we can
spoken to
see-
Siddaramaiah? Has he said that I want to know why did these 11 people die? Or we should have more people dying before any government wakes up?
DP, clearly a good enough job was not done at it. I'm not going to say that they did not do anything. That'd be very stupid of me to say. Of course, they did make arrangements. You had policemen, you had a whole system, and no event of this scale is ever organized in any state, regardless of political party ruling it, without preparations. The point is the preparations were not good enough. But what comes next is, once an unfortunate event happens like this, how is the political establishment of the day dealing with it? There are, honestly, Deepti, I do not find much problems. You have the chief minister who has admitted fault. An inquiry has been ordered. You have the deputy chief minister saying that within 10 minutes the event was slashed. And also on the two parallel videos that you were playing, that a stampede was happening outside and people were celebrating inside. I also see Virat Kohli waving his hand. Now, we can say that the politicians are callous. I can agree with you on that.
Road,
but I'm not willing to believe that.
Please do not drag a cricketer. Please do not drag a cricketer into your politics. Please, Nikhil, do not do that.
DP,
Do not do
I'm not
that.
dragging anybody.
You can please be
DP,
upfront and tell me we have failed. We have failed. Give us an opportunity.
I have
We will
already
fix
said
it.
that. I have already
No,
said
don't do
that.
this,
I have
Nikhil.
already said that. And give me.
I want you to pull back.
I am not dragging
listen.
anybody into it.
This is
No,
not a
DP, give me
forum
10
where you
seconds
will
to
come and
complete.
give your speeches, Nikhil. Please,
DP,
you'll have to pull back.
DP, 10 seconds to complete. 10
Okay,
seconds to complete. 10
quickly,
seconds to
quickly.
complete. The reason I mentioned a particular cricketer's name was because I am sure that the event, or rather the news of the stampede outside, did not reach the stadium inside, which is why everybody from the politicians to the cricketers to the general
Nikhil,
members of the
what are you
public were out
saying? Do you
celebrating,
hear yourself?
not
Do
knowing
you
what
hear
was happening
yourself?
outside.
Do you hear
Of course
yourself?
I do.
mean, if that
Do
is...
you see a single person
now,
in
Nikhil,
sick
you will
there?
now... See, I don't want to raise my voice, but I want you to please stop here and write here. Because on our screens now, we will also go big to tell you of multiple stampedes and what happened post that, Nikhil, because you say, oh, listen, a magisterial inquiry has been constituted, the chief minister has come forward. You haven't told me the fact that the chief minister said so many people died in Kumbh, you know? That is a bizarre defense that is coming in. That is coming in from Siddaramaiah. I do not appreciate, Nikhil, that you keep talking over me. Please pull back. Please pull back. The least that you can do is extend some bit of courtesy today to these questions that will be raised. And please answer them. If you cannot answer them, you want to duck them, completely your call.
No, I'll answer that.
But do not drag cricketers into your politics. You have netas who want to share a stage with those cricketers. Why? Because they want to also be a part of this entire game of claiming credit, no? Let's not get late about
DP,
this.
Let me answer the question that you posed.
Nikhil, you'll have to wait. I want to get in Sudha. I want to get in Sudha, please. Nikhil, it can't be a monologue. I want to get in Sudha here. Sudha, who do you believe is responsible today? And when the Chief Minister says that so many people died in the Kumbh, what is your response to that?
Deepti, my heart, I don't know, with a lot of heavy-heartedness, my condolence to all the 11 families who have lost their loved ones, and my prayers to all of them who are injured. Let them be recovered very soon. I'm unable to speak to be very, I'm literally shattered. And what these people are speaking, I don't understand. The Chief Minister, the way he has done the press conference today, look at his arrogancy, and he says, you know, we are going to come up with a magisterial investigation, and they're going to see the fault of whom, Deepti? Who is at fault today? The cops? Absolutely no. The CM, the Deputy CM, and the Home Minister are at fault. They have to resign immediately. They don't have grounds morally to sit on those chairs. And look at that, they are celebrating the victory over the bodies over there. The hands of the Congress is
they said they didn't get to know
today.
Sudha. Sudha, they are saying information did not reach. You know, it's an age of technology. And if the Chief Minister, the Deputy Chief Minister had no knowledge, I don't want to say anything to that, Sudha.
Deepti, the whole world 5:30, everybody came to know there was death of 3 people, okay? Huh? After 5:30, they have gone into the stadium. By 6 o'clock, the trophy was in the hands of Mr. D.K. Shivkumar. How did he feel like? Deepti, I couldn't light the diya of my puja room today. As if I couldn't do that. And they are celebrating with a trophy in their hand. What sort of human beings are there? What sort of preparations they had done? In a matter of 6 to 7 hours, they say they're going to have a huge celebration, and they say they were not aware that they're going to have such a big gathering is not going to take place. 1 crore 50 lakh people are there in Bangalore, and 2 to 3 lakh people you are not expecting. Yesterday night, the entire Bangalore was celebrating. The streets of all the Bangalore was loaded with people, with all the crackers. Throughout Karnataka, it was there. And they're saying they didn't expect that. Are they human beings? Do they have any sensitivity? What sort of leaders are this? And there's no ambulance. Actually, to be frank, I'll tell you, being a doctor, they should have air ambulances. Not less than 10 air ambulances should have been there. No air ambulances, forget about air ambulances. The people were carried in their arms. And just imagine how long it will take. There was no medical help over there. The doctors, who were there in the audience, they are given the CPA. What nonsense is this, Deepti?
Okay, Sudha.
And these people are protecting them. The one over here, and my co-panelist is defending the undefendable one.
I don't know how they do this, Sudha, but I must make one thing very clear. On our screens are also responses that have come in from the Prime Minister, from the President, Rahul Gandhi, who says that no celebration is worth a human life. I do not know, Nikhil, whether you have Siddaramaiah, you have D.K. Shivkumar hearing that message out or not. Sudha, what do you want to say?
That's what I'm saying. Where is Mr. Rahul Gandhi today? Where is Mallikarjun Kharge today? Why are the lips so sealed today? Why are they not coming out today?
But Sudha, I must make one point very clear. We have seen stampedes even in BJP-ruled states. How many chief ministers did the BJP sack? The answer is no, zero, zilch. That is a problem. So, today both the BJP and the Congress are playing politics. Please play politics. Please ask each other tough questions.
But
people can't be treated like pawn. No, Nikhil, please. Nikhil, I think you must pull back because you've only played politics from the beginning of the show. Okay, Sudha, give me a moment. We also have on our screens those images of the celebrations, remember, that were going in. There are also equally disturbing images, Professor Anil Gupta, of the moment of the stampede and the aftermath. There is one startling image that we all see of slippers and shoes just all over. If that is an image, Anil Gupta ji, that does not wake us up, if that is an image that continuously is pushing our netas to play politics, can we ever have a solution to this? Why is this such a common practice in India?
I think this is a very, very pertinent question that you have asked. I was listening to the previous discussants also. So Stampede is not a new thing in India. And almost 3-4 major or medium-sized Stampedes takes place every year in different parts of the country. And most likely we find that these kind of incidences taking place when it is a happy moment. Either there are some kind of a religious congregation, some kind of mela, some kind of the sports and this kind of celebrations. But many times, or most of the times, there are the inquiries set up. But where are the lessons from those inquiries? How efficiently those lessons from those inquiries are taken into the improving the plans? Second thing, very important, that crowd management is not a new thing. There are established modules for crowd management, and those are successfully implemented in some cases, but very poorly implemented in many other cases also. And that is the reason we find this kind of scenarios. So like the scenes that we are seeing here, we have seen such kind of scenes in the past also. This is really very tragic and very, very, very sad affair. The third point, that whereas it is not only the management of people or the large number of people coming and that expecting or anticipating that how many people will come. But we also have the modules to carry out a risk assessment that what can go wrong.
Okay.
Basically, that is equally or even more important, that if the things doesn't go as we planned, what the worst can happen. So basically, the disaster management also talks about the worst case scenarios.
Okay.
And the last point I would say that all segments are very important. That what is the policy thought process of zero tolerance? We talk of zero tolerance in many places, but how do we really operationalize it? I think man-made disasters like this, there should be a standard of zero tolerance. There should not be there should not be any acceptance of even one death until unless the policy thought process, whether any level of politicians. And the second thing, that to operationalize this, what is the mechanism, what is the training, what is the planning? The planning cannot take place only for one incident. It is one incident, but until unless we have we can say a mahal, we have a kind of a system that any such kind of congregation, there has to be a risk assessment, there has to be an effective crowd management. And the second aspect comes, that is even more important.
Yes, sir.
That the people's behavior. In India, most of the celebrations turn into such kind of tragic situations because of reason that the safety is never on the top of our mind. And I think it requires a huge investment in a kind of a changing the people's behavior, thought process, that people should put safety as the first thing in their mind.
Okay.
I think this is how I would like to summarize this.
Yes.
Because many times we find that the things went beyond the control, and the inquiry reports will come like this. Either
Yes, I don't think an inquiry report is an answer. It is just a band-aid solution to tell people that, listen, we are working, no, Nikhil? Can you tell me what really came out of the types of the other Stampede reports that have come forward? Can you name one that has fixed accountability, Nikhil?
Yeah, before
Deepti, sadly, I don't...
just add one thing.
Yes, Anilji, what do you want to say?
The inquiry report is a post-event, but there has to be a mechanism of audit, basically.
Absolutely.
That where what went wrong, and that can be done even anticipatory way also.
You're right. Siddaramaiah today said the capacity was 30 to 35,000, no, Nikhil? But we had lakhs of people. So how did lakhs of people come in? Why did you let so many people come in? And if they were there, why were they not bandobast? Simple question.
No, Deepti, that's the point, that lakhs of people had aggregated and they were not allowed in, and that is what leads to a stampede situation. See, first of all, somebody earlier said that I'm trying to defend the indefensible. I'm not trying to defend the indefensible. I am not defending this. This is the failure of the government, as is every stampede of the government at the time. I think we need to be, as a people, as public policy planners, we need to be more conscious of how stampedes are more prone to happen in a country like ours, where the population density is much higher. And we need to put in place measures to ensure. No.
You will blame population.
I am not blaming anybody.
Please.
No,
This is the same thing what you're doing.
You are trying to. No. Deepti, you are trying to find people I'm trying to blame. I'm not blaming anybody.
Why should we not blame anyone? I don't understand. 11 people have lost their lives.
The government is the one where the buck stops. I've already
so
said that. What do you want? Do you want me to say that on a tape record again and again and again?
Not stopping with the government,
because I want to reach solutions. Because I want to reach solutions. I care about solutions and not just politicking.
People die, so let's talk about solutions. But when it is a BJP-ruled state, has the Congress not raised questions and demands for the sacking of the Chief Minister? I don't know what you're holding up, Nikhil. I do not know what you're holding up. You can keep it down. You can just keep it down because I've asked you questions. Today it's a tough spot, Nikhil. It's a tough spot for you. I appreciate that. But Dr. Sudha, tell me something. Forget the BJP, forget the Congress. It's about people. I mean, can both of you get together, both the parties, and please find a solution? You cannot have people dying in stampedes.
Deepti, I have told you before also, not being biased about any political party and being just a human being, we need to think over this. When earlier also stampedes have taken place, it is the responsibility of the government, take it any government, to sit on the table and sort out how things have to be carried out. There was no standard operating procedures carried out over here. There were security lapses. They had not thought how to take care of the people. And tell me one thing, was there any one protocol where the people were told like you have to buy the tickets or you have to book online or any such thing? No. It was just like, rapidly they told, anybody can come.
Okay, so you're saying, Sudha, that the state is completely irresponsible. Yes, that's what the BJP is saying?
Absolutely. It's not a blame game. It is not a blame game. It is the thing that this tragedy has taken place. A celebration has gone into a mourning. And It is absolutely not acceptable, Deepti, at the end
Okay,
of the
not
day.
acceptable. Sudha, only for what of time. I'm thanking you and both gentlemen for joining us. But do remember, NDTV will continue to ask those questions. NDTV will continue to report on this. And NDTV will continue to call for your safety because that is what is important. Let's quickly now bring up News Night's parting shot. So think of this. They came to celebrate. They were a part of the celebrations. But some are not going to be making it home tonight. In Bengaluru, lives were lost in a stampede that should never have happened. And while you have families tonight who are mourning, what are leaders doing? Leaders that we elect. Leaders are defending, they are deflecting. Some are even comparing this to the Kumbh. Like, somehow this makes it easier to bear. Think about the families tonight. This wasn't just another lapse. And this isn't just a tragedy because this, ladies and gentlemen, is a mirror. And when you look in the mirror, you realize how cheap your own life is. And until that changes, stampedes will never stop. Only the names of the dead will. So you have to speak up. You have to make our netas accountable. Thank you so much for watching, and our hearts go out to all those families that are grieving tonight. Good night.